Broncos Country, it is that time of the week again. Broncos mailbag session. Real Denver Broncos fans asking real Denver Broncos questions to another real Denver Broncos fan. Thank you so much for joining me today. Now, I do have a question that I will start off with today's episode, and I think it would be important for you to get down in the comment section. How far will the Denver Broncos go in 2025? If you had to say right this very moment, where do you think they go? I'm going to say they make it to the AFC Championship game. I would love the Super Bowl, but it shouldn't be necessarily the end-all, be-all if they don't make the Super Bowl. But what you have to do is win a couple of playoff games to show that you are legit contenders. So get me down in the comment section down below. Let's start off with our first $10 Super Chat from Dr. Checkmate. Rooting for Indy this Sunday. They still have Seattle, and San Francisco is also no gimme, especially with Purdy back. More worried about New England. I give Denver 50% to run the table and 66% to get the number one overall seed. I think you're on to something there. The Patriots definitely have a very easy strength of schedule, but I will give credit where credit is due. Drake May is playing very, very good football. It's a very good passing team, but they're not invincible. You can absolutely beat the New England Patriots. You got to attack them through the air. And with Milton Williams now on IR, there's a way that you can get after the run game as well. So I appreciate your $10 Super Chat, my friend Dr. Checkmate. I think you're right around the correct ballpark there, 50 to 66%. Robert coming in with $2 Super Chat. What sort of contract would you give Cooks? He's talking about Brandon Cooks, who was, at the time of this recording, recently relieved from duties by the New Orleans Saints. He was drafted by Sean Payton back in 2014, so it should be noted that there is some sort of connection there. He's already gotten half of his salary paid this year by the New Orleans Saints, so I would say you would only have to pay him about $2.5 million. And right now, currently, the Broncos have $3 million in available cap space that you could pay him, or any player really, for a very short-term contract. So I hope that helps answer your question to be about $2.5 million. $5 Super Chat from our boy, Young Feege. Yeah, did I say young goy? I meant young guy. Broncos, do you think we need to keep Joe Webb? I think you mean Davis Webb, our passing game coordinator. And the only way I could see you retaining him as if you made him offensive coordinator. And I know Joe Lombardi's there, but and Sean Payton calls the plays. But Davis Webb's got a very bright future, right? Remember last year the Broncos lost Declan Doyle, and he's now in Chicago with Ben Johnson. So I really hope that Davis Webb stays with Denver, but I could absolutely see him getting an offensive coordinator gig somewhere in the NFL next season. Robert. Patriots are trying to say that Denver has an easier schedule. Could you put it to rest? Yes, I can. Very easily, actually. The strength of schedule is not even a contest. It's a statistic. The Patriots have a remaining strength of schedule far easier than the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos' upcoming schedule, most of the teams are right around 500. The Patriots, way less than that. So it should be that the New England Patriots, on paper, have a better chance to get the number one overall seed. However, this coming Sunday, they take on Joe Burrow. And I think we all know that Joe Burrow can give anybody fits on any certain day. He's given Patrick Mahomes a ton of fits. So I hope that answers your question. Appreciate your Super Chat. Another Super Chat coming in. We're all supers today. Do we want the Colts to lose or to beat the Chiefs? We're hoping for a tie. That's what we're hoping for. You could look at this one of two ways. It's a win-win situation. I made a video on it. If you beat the Chiefs, if the Colts beat the Chiefs, it's FKC. So we're always happy about that. But if the Chiefs win, the Denver Broncos have a better shot to win the number one overall seed at 9-2. Colts are currently at 8-2. So pick your poison there. I honestly wouldn't mind either of those, although I'll be happy with the outcome either way. Keanu coming in with his question. Should the Broncos sign Damien Pierce? Great question. Absolutely. At the time of this recording, it was just earlier today that the Houston Texans released running back Damien Pierce. I don't think it's a bad idea whatsoever. You could go out and sign Damien Pierce and say, look, we need you for the back half of the year. You want to chase a ring? Come to Mile High. He's a powerful back. better days are behind him. He had a great 2022 season, but outside of that, he's just been kind of mid or slightly below mid. But I would not mind Damien Pierce on this team, especially with the injury to J.K. Dobbins. Costin Pollock, I think is how you say Pollock, maybe? I don't know. Do you think that we will get lucky and have J.K. Dobbins back in the postseason? He can't come back for the postseason. He can come back for the Super Bowl. There's a possibility that he comes back for the Super Bowl. So, would it be awesome to see J.K. Dobbins suit up if we made the big one in San Francisco? Of course it would. But you can't bet on it. It's probably not going to happen. In fact, it's not going to happen until at least that game. Bike Boy. Bike Boy. Is that the real Brett Alper? That's great. That is absolutely great. Pause. Hold on. Sorry. Who would you want to play in the first round of the playoffs? Well, I'm going to answer this question. I can't get over it. That's great. I am laughing at you. All right. I would want a first round bye. To answer your question, Mr. Bike Boy. I definitely think getting a first round bye is the goal now for the Denver Broncos. I'll take a bye in the first round any day and twice on Sunday. However, if the Denver Broncos ended up getting the 2 or, God forbid, the 3 seed, if we currently look at the AFC playoff picture here, I would probably say I want the Jacksonville Jaguars. I would. I do not want to face Josh Allen at all. I would take the Steelers as well. But you don't want to play the best quarterbacks. And I get you do as a competitor. Like the competitors want to know that their team is legit, so you want to go up against the very best. But first round of the playoffs, I would love to see, just for the winning perspective of things, I'd like to see them play the Jaguars or even the Steelers. That's probably my best answer that I could give you at least right now. But based off of the top 3 teams here that I've seen, this is what you're fighting for. These are the top 3 that are going to either... One of these 3 teams is going to get the number 1 seed. Can we all agree on that? It's going to be the Broncos, the Patriots, or the Colts. These are the 3 best teams, in my opinion, not only in the AFC. If you added the Rams in here, those are the top 4 teams in the NFL. Period. Broncos, Patriots, Colts, Rams. Those are the top 4 teams. Hopefully that answers your question, Bike Boy. All right. Before we continue on with our questions, I got to tell you about my friends over at Harry's. I'm literally the hairiest guy you know. I mean, check it. My back gets 5 o'clock shadow, which is hilarious to think about. But currently at my home, on my sink, is a Harry's premium set. And let me tell you about our friends over at Harry's. If your old razor dulled way too quickly, if it irritated your neck, and if they cost way too much, $30 for 8 refills, total scam. Harry's Plus has got you covered. An advanced pivoting system to reach every corner of your face with refined blade tech for a closer, smoother shave and a weighted metal handle for added control and comfort. With Harry's Plus, you get a barbershop quality shave with German engineered blades. Why pay $30 for refills when Harry's gives you at least better blades for a fraction of the cost? Harry's has launched their most advanced razor ever, and it's still cheaper than the Gillette Fusion 5. For a limited time, our listeners can get the Harry's Plus trial set for only $10 at harrys.com/chat. That set includes the all-new Harry's Plus razor, 1 refined 5-blade cartridge, a 2-ounce foaming shave gel, and a travel cover to protect your blades on the go. Just head on over to harrys.com/chat to claim the offer, and after you purchase, they're going to say, hey, where'd you hear about us? Please support the show and tell them Moose from the Broncos Breakdown sent you. Can we run the table from our guy Pops? What's up, Pops? And will the Broncos make the Super Bowl? Of course, as the fan in me, I want to say yes. The host in me and the realist in me wants to say that you got a long way before you can start saying things like run the table. However, the Broncos, in my opinion, just show that they're gearing up to play their best football. So by week 18, if this team is playing their best football, they're going to be a very, very scary team to face. You're going to have to bring everything in order to beat the Denver Broncos, especially if the Denver Broncos are playing at home. Home field advantage, get on out of here. I'm telling you right now, it would be sensational. So thank you, Pops, for your question. Kick. Do you really think we need another piece or more discipline on the offensive side of the football? I think it could be both. You don't need another piece. Let me just start by saying that. You don't need to go out and sign Brandon Cooks. You don't need to sign Damien Pierce. Would it be nice to have an extra element of, a weapon? Of course it would. But the discipline is definitely something that you have to focus on. You got to stop with the pre-snap penalties. You got to stop with the penalties as a whole. You got to stop dropping the football. I mean, those are big-time things those are just practice habits. You got to play clean. You got to keep your eye on the football. Let's go back to football 101. Ball, hands, catch, run. It is that simple sometimes. I get it. These are the best football players in the world, so you can never dumb the game down like that. But at the same time, if you're getting paid millions of dollars a year to catch football, I expect you to catch football. That's all I'm going to say. Timothy, assuming that the Denver Broncos pick in the final 6 to 8 of the first round? Oh, final 6 to 8 picks of the first round. Okay, got you. What do you think they'll go for? Tight end? Tight end or interior linebacker? And the reason I say that is because who knows what's going on with Drew Sanders. We were told back in July that when Drew Sanders was going on short-term IR, he could be back for the Philadelphia Eagles game. Where's he at? And with the injuries to both Dre Greenlaw and now the cancer diagnosis to Alex Singleton, I'm sure the Denver Broncos know, hey, we've got to focus on the interior linebacker position. So could you go out and get a guy like Carson Schlesinger that the Cleveland Browns drafted this last year? Absolutely. I'd be focusing on either A, a tight end, B, a center, or C, an interior linebacker. Last question from our guy, Matthew. What do you think about getting a first-round bye? I hear players say it gets you off your rhythm. I think it depends. If you're really injured and you're trying to get players back, I think you'll want it. I understand that if you're playing in a rhythm, it's definitely something that you want to carry the momentum for. But I think if you asked any veteran player in the locker room, they would tell you they would love a first-round bye. The younger players, maybe not so much. The younger players just want everything right away. The veteran players know that, hey, we can sit back a little bit, give our bodies, our minds a break, let the other teams play out, and then we attack when we get back onto the field. That's going to do it for us on today's episode. A reminder to hit that subscribe button, like today's video, and as always, Broncos Country, Mile High Salute. Be cool.